everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney, and today's video is going to be my recap of the 10 days I spent in Tokyo, Japan. My channel is usually about my cross-stitching adventure as well as my other crafting endeavors and the books that I read, but today we're going to recap everything that I did in Japan for 10 days. If you watched my last video, you'll see the deep dive I did on all of the craft stores that I went to. I'll mention those craft stores in this one and show you what I bought, but I won't go to deep dive into the stores too much or how to find them. Go check out my last video for that. And so I work in theater, and I like to start my videos out with a theater fun fact. And today's theater fun fact is about Kabuki. So Kabuki is a traditional Japanese theater. It has roots tracing back to the Edo period, which was a period of like growth and like rebirth of art and culture. Kabuki is one of three major classical theater types in Japan. The others are No and Buraku. Kabuki is rich in showmanship. There's elaborate costumes and makeup, and the stage is elaborate, and the acting is very exaggerated by the performers. It's highly stylized, and one of the key things is that it has a footbridge, also known as Hanamishi, that leads through the audience. It provides another entrance-exit spot. The plots are usually like historical events, love stories, other like well-known stories, stuff like that. I could go on forever about Kabuki. I think it's a really amazing art form. And there's so much history in it. You don't really see it done too much outside of Japan and like that traditional setting. But the last time I was in Japan, 7 years ago, I saw a production and it was breathtaking. One of the things that really surprised me was the number of intermissions. There are typically 2 to 3 intermissions, varying in length from like 10 to 45 minutes. And the shows are typically 3 to 4 hours long. And I saw the Kabuki show at the National Theater of Japan. So there is your theater fun fact. We'll move into the video. Alright, so, like I said, this was my second trip to Japan. My last trip was 7 years ago. This trip, we only stayed in Tokyo for the 10 days. Last time I went, I also went to Kyoto. And so in this video, I will go through each individual day, what I did, the order of what I did. I'll show you pictures all throughout, and like all of the really amazing cool things. I'll show you all of the things that I bought that are currently surrounding me. At the end, I'll give you kind of my general tips and tricks of how to get around Japan, especially when you don't speak any Japanese. So I'll preface that here, I do not speak any Japanese at all. I will try my very hardest in pronouncing these names and stores, if they're in Japanese, the best I can, but they're most likely going to be wrong or slightly wrong. Or I will very much say it like a tourist American, but I will try my hardest. And also, I am no expert in Japan. I have only visited twice, and these are just things that I've found throughout the way, from like my visits and my experience. Everybody has a different experience. This is just mine. Google Translate is your friend. I love Google Translate. And I will also show you what I wore each day, when I start talking about the day. Be kind, because I took these pictures at the end of the day after walking around for almost 20,000 steps. So don't judge. I started out a lot cleaner and put together at the beginning of the day. So, we left on March 31st. We flew United from Newark to Narita Airport. It was about a 14-hour flight. We arrived on April 1st. We got the extra legroom seats, and oh my goodness, if you can afford it, it's so nice, especially on those really long flights. And especially when you have to get up and go to the bathroom, because 14 hours is a long time. We made really good time in the air. It was supposed to be almost 14 and a half, almost 15 hours of a flight, but we made really good timing. So from Newark to Tokyo, you kind of fly up over Alaska. Right. Up over Canada, through Alaska, and then you kind of skirt around Russia, and then like through the ocean to Japan. So like you kind of go up and over instead of like directly across. If you know anything about flying, it makes a lot of sense to fly that way, and it's a shorter path. One of the biggest things that I will say, when you are flying there, when you are arriving in the country, fill out the customs form ahead of time before you leave. And make sure each person has their own individual QR code. And so like you'll have a QR code, and then your name will be at the bottom. Your name has to be on that bottom. And if you click on that name, if you do it as a family, you click on that name and there's a drop down and you should be able to see everybody's name. Do this before. It will save you so much time. You use it at immigration, you use it at customs. It just saves you so much time. You don't have to fill out paperwork. I'm sorry, those were my dogs. I'll leave the link down below of where you can find to fill out those forms. It is the best thing. Do it beforehand. Saves you so much time. And make sure your name that shows up on your passport is on the bottom of the QR code. We had a little bit of mix-up there. But we made it fast. You can either fill it out as a family or an individual. If you're any confusion, just fill it out as an individual. It's easier. Tokyo has 2 airports. You've got, I believe it's Haneda, which is almost like right next to the city center. Like I would say maybe a 30-minute train ride from like the center of Tokyo. Like the city center of Tokyo. And then the Narita airport, which is typically cheaper to fly like out of, is about an hour outside the city. But so take into account your transportation to wherever you're staying, which one is going to be cheaper based off of like your flights and all of that. And if you want to spend that time traveling to the farther airport, if it's going to save you money, enough money, including transportation, or the time if you want it. I have my notes down below, so if I'm looking there, that's why. So we took a car service from the airport. There is a direct train, that is the like specific Narita airport line that you can take, but we took a car, so it was really nice. We stayed at the JW Marriott in Takanawa Gateway. It is a very like newer developed area. They're developing it more and more. The train station like had literally just had its grand opening. The train station has existed, but the grand opening of the new train station was like a couple days before we got there. You've got the JR line that's right there, almost attached to the hotel. It's not, but it might as well be. You can get to the station without having to like be exposed to rain. You're outside, but it's all like covered. And then you've got the Tokyo Metro, literally like, if it's a 7-minute walk from the entrance to the hotel, that's a lot. It's like across the street. So you've got a lot of access to get anywhere you possibly want without having to transfer trains, or you transfer a train, either way. It's very easy to get around from that area, but there is not much in that direct area to do. So take that into account. So that night we had dinner in the executive lounge. My parents are part of the Marriott program, and so the level that they're at allowed us entrance into the executive lounge. It was really great. It was a really great perk. I also want to preface that I went on this trip with my parents to visit my brother because my twin brother lives there, which is why I went back to Tokyo for a second time because my brother lives in Tokyo and works there. And I personally would not have been able to afford this vacation on my own. I am extremely, extremely fortunate to have really great and amazing parents who would have gone on this trip with or without me, but were willing to take me along and help me pay for some of the trip. So I know I am very fortunate. I know the JW Marriott is definitely one of the higher value scale hotels. It felt it. It was gorgeous. It truly gorgeous, and such an amazing place to stay if you can. Especially with access to the lounge, because we had breakfast there almost every day. But I know how fortunate I am, and I know a lot of people don't have that opportunity, so I just want to acknowledge that. But you can have this same experience if you stay at a capsule hotel, you take the cheapest trains, like, you can visit Japan on a very cheap budget. I promise. I always tell people, the most expensive part of visiting Japan is the flight. Everything else you can find really cheap. My dad and I tried to figure out how we could get the Welcome Suica card, the IC card. We went down to the information center at the train station, and the person we talked to did not speak English almost at all. She understood it very well, but she didn't speak it back, which was fine. Pulled out good old trusty Google Translate. We figured it all out. We wanted the Welcome Suica card because that's technically the one for tourists. And she directed us to the, I think it's the Tourism Information Center. If I'm wrong, I'll put it up. Which is not directly attached to the station. It's kind of like in the building where the hotel is in. But unfortunately, that was closed, so we couldn't get that. So we were gonna try in the morning. So, speaking of, moving on to April 2nd. So that night, I did more digging and looking at the Suica cards, which is one of the versions of the IC cards. I'll go into that at the end of the video. But we decided on just a normal Suica card because it's valid for 10 years, and you can now get your name on them. And by doing that, they are, retrievable if you lose it. So if you lose the card, you can retrieve it with the same balance that was left on it. And the card is a $500 or 500 yen deposit that you don't get back no matter what. And since we will most likely return, we decided just to get the normal Suica card because we're probably going to go back, and once it expires in 10 years, you can get another one with the same balance on it. You don't lose the money. If you have an iPhone, you can have the card on your phone. I have an Android, and my dad has an Android, so we could not do it. My mom has an iPhone, but, like, we were not going to try to have her figure that out. She's not technologically savvy. So yeah, so if you have an iPhone, you don't need to buy a card. You can just use the phone. I don't know really how that works. You'd have to Google it. But, so, that day we had planned for a cherry blossom tour because while we were there, it was perfect. When I'm saying perfect, I mean perfect cherry blossom season. Literally, they were in full bloom. They started full bloom like a day or two before we got there. So on this tour, we stopped at 5 different locations. It was a bus tour. There was an optional lunch included that we did. I would say if you like trying different things and exploring, where you stopped for lunch was Ueno Park, and like they had a whole bunch of booths set up. Don't do the provided lunch. It really wasn't anything special. It was good. It wasn't like bad. It just like I would have rather have went to the booths in the park and tried them out. But either way, the tour was mostly, like, talking on the bus. Our tour guide spoke English, and she would basically tell us things on the bus, and then we would stop somewhere, And then she would tell us when to get back on the bus. And then we would go out and explore where we were. That's about it. Yeah, so we were kind of on our own exploring places and seeing these cherry blossoms. And then we would learn information on the bus. So this was put on by Coco Day Travel. And we booked it via Viator. We learned about Viator the very first time we went to Japan to visit my brother. Because the travel agent apparently booked through that. And so this time my dad just did it on his own, booking the stuff through that. Which apparently was really great. Really no problems with it. You met at Tokyo Station, where the start of the tour was, and we had a really hard time finding our tour guide, and the other, tour guides that were doing other tours from the same company weren't really helpful. I don't blame them. I blame the organization of the company, not the individual tour guides, but the tour company for not being more specific and providing people with more information. There was more information that we needed to know to help us begin the journey. But once we got on the journey, it was fine. So cherry blossoms, also known as sakura, only bloom for a week. Like I said, we were there the perfect time. So also, cherry blossoms are different than most plants. They blossom before they leaf. So very rarely do you have the cherry blossoms and the leaves at the same time, except for when it's in that transitional period. And the cherry blossoms only are in full bloom for about a week. They don't bloom for very long. And so it's there's cherry blossoms literally all over the city. And all over Japan, really. They're spectacular and gorgeous, and I love them. They're amazing. I've always had a slight obsession with cherry blossoms. I just hadn't really realized it until, this trip. But so the cherry blossom season in Japan is a very big deal. And so people do a lot of picnics under the trees, and they're just a reminder that life is short, and because they only bloom for a week, life is short. Don't let things stop you from living your life. On this tour, our tour guide also taught us what the meaning of the name Japan is. And it is Land of the Rising Sun. And they also named themselves that to piss off China. Because the sun rises in the east, and Japan is to the east of China. So the sun rises over Japan for China. So they kind of called themselves Japan to piss off China. The other name for Japan is also Nippon or Nihon. Apparently both pronunciations, if I'm doing it correctly, are correct. And it means the same thing. It's just language evolution. There's so many countries out there that, to locals, they call it something different than, what the rest of the world calls it. So, what were the parks we went to? So we started at Shinjuku National Garden. This one is the only one on this trip that had a paid entry into the park. It was gorgeous. It was also raining while we were there. And then it stopped raining when we went to the next one, which was Meguro River. You walk along the little river, and they're lining the river, and there's a whole bunch of shops. The Starbucks roastery is over there. If you go far enough down from where we had stopped, you'll start getting booths and stuff selling Sakura things. And then we went to Ueno Park. This is where the big zoo is. The zoo used to have giant pandas, and they no longer have giant pandas. But but this is a giant park. There's, I think, a temple and a shrine on the park, in the park. We went there the first time, and it's a gorgeous park as well. So then after that, we went to Sumida Park, which is where you can see Tokyo Sky Tree, like across the river with some cherry blossoms, of course. Our final stop was Chidoriga Fushi Park. And this is where you could rent a boat and like paddle along the river, and like have like the cherry blossoms above you. You can get like a little boat of swans. There's a bunch of like, it's really cute. So that was what we did that day. That was an entire day tour. And you know, after 9 hours on the bus, getting on and off and a lot of walking, we were tired because the jet lag was kicking in. April 3rd, the next day, we had breakfast at the hotel. I went and, this was the day that I had planned to go see Frozen. So, and the show was at 1 o'clock, so I didn't want to spend the whole morning at the hotel, so I went and walked around, Shiba Park, where the Senso-ji Temple is. It's right near Tokyo Tower, and I think my favorite picture that I have taken on between both of my trips of Tokyo Tower and the cherry blossoms, and I'll put it here. I think this is one of my favorite pictures ever. So I just walked around there, walked around the park. It was nice to there's so many parks in Tokyo, that you can just walk around, and you're in the middle of a city. So like, it's crazy. I love it. So like I said, I saw Frozen that day. It was at the JR East Shiki Theater. I went to go see it with a friend who lives in Japan, lives in Tokyo. And so from the, Shiba Park, I walked there. It was only like a 25 minute walk. On the walk, I passed by the Takashiba ship terminal, which is this really cool picture I got, of just like a ship sail, and like just the sail in the middle of it. So it was really cool. So the show was entirely in Japanese, and it was amazing. I had not seen the original Broadway production. I was originally wanting to take my niece to it, but she was too young at the time, and then during COVID it closed, so I hadn't seen it. But this was the first time I had seen Frozen on stage. But you know, Frozen the movie, I knew the additional songs that they put in the musical. I knew obviously the story from the movie, so I felt really comfortable going to see a show in Japanese that I would not understand. Like the all of the words and stuff, but I knew what was happening. I knew the show, so I didn't feel like I was missing anything at all. And what surprised me the most was that they bowed like 5 or 6 times at the end. And like nobody stood, because we were all up in the balcony. I always prefer balcony seats. That's just like I've always preferred it. I like being able to like see from above. That's probably the stage manager in me. But so they just kept bowing. Like the curtain would close, we would think it'd be over, and then the curtain would rise again and they'd bow again. It happened like 5 or 6 times. The first 2 made sense, because you got the first bow, and like sometimes they'll come back and do like a more like company bow, at least here in the States. But like it kept going on. And I asked my friend, I was like, is this normal? Because she's an actress. She has done theater, not there, but she does like film and TV stuff. And like commercials and whatnot. But I asked her, she's like, I don't think so. She's like, I think 2 or 3 bows is normal. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But it just kept going on. Yeah. So, let me show you what I got from the show. So we'll start with the bag. So I got this bag for free because of how much I bought, which really wasn't all that much. Sorry for any crinkling ahead of time. So first we'll start with, I got a program. I have not even opened this yet. It's definitely all in Japanese, but I don't care. I get programs from all of the shows that I go to. So I had to, and like, I don't think you can see, but it's sparkly. You're not going to be able to see through the plastic. Oh, but I'll show you. It opens the opposite way that American books do. It opens this direction, which is more like Japanese, like traditional way that it will open. Let's see. Oh, it does actually have the cast list in English as well. That's great. Like I said, I had not opened this yet. Or not the cast list, that's the like credits page. Of course they do. But everything else is in Japanese. Oh, they do have the staff. You don't really need to know all of this. The bios, you've got the cast, not in English, but afterwards they did send a like, who is in the cast and who was who that day. And they've got photos from the stage. Oh, this is gorgeous. I'm so glad and the cast bios. I'm so glad I got this. Google Translate, my friend. All right. And then this I got as a gift for somebody. He's obsessed with Wicked. It is a keychain, so it's a mystery, so I have no clue what it is. He will get to find out. So I got those downstairs, at like the entrance to the theater in like the general gift shop. And then went upstairs to the theater, and that's where I got the bag. Before entering the scanning of tickets, I got this shirt. It says Frozen, a musical worth melting for, and it's Olaf. I think that's so cute. And then I also got this pin. I think he's so cute. And something I thought was really interesting is they gave you this information sheet for the pin, which I thought was really cool. And then, of course, I also grabbed one of these, which has their show schedule on it and like theater stuff, you know, one of like the promotional like flyers like theaters have. So that's what I got there. And so after my friend took me to this matcha place called Lit Coffee and Tea Stand. I would have never have walked into this place on my own. I'm just awkward. And it was amazing. It was so good. We had matcha lattes and like a matcha like cake thing. It was so good. Like so good. And then for dinner that night, we went with my brother and that friend who went to go see the show. My brother met this friend because when he studied abroad in Japan, they met and stayed friends. And then she became friends with my parents because she studied abroad here in New York, and so spent the holidays here. And so, like I was saying, after I got off on a tangent, we went to a restaurant with my brother that was at the mall that was attached to the hotel. It's, you know, one giant building. It's called Rigo, and it's based off of another restaurant owned by the same company that's in Hawaii, and it is Spanish-Italian food. So yeah. And then I wrote jet lag kicking my ass because I was dead exhausted And jet lag indeed was kicking my ass. And jet lag going there, I feel like is easier to combat than coming back. We got back on the 10th, and it is currently the 16th, and I still have not fully adjusted back to this time. When I went the first time, I don't think I slept for a month. Alright, so April 4th, we had breakfast at the hotel, and then we did one of my favorite things I think I've ever done in Japan. Other than, I think, maybe the traditional tea ceremony. That's probably like a close second. The first time I went. We did a matcha tasting with a guy who used to be a tea farmer. It is the best experience you will ever have. If you like tea at all, if you like green tea at all, if you even like half like matcha, you have to do this. It is from Matcha Trip. It is literally a husband and wife team. And he was so sweet. He was amazing. So informative and so thorough. And I love tea. And like, I learned so much about green tea that I didn't even know. And the word cha means tea. It just so good. Highly recommend. It's in so how I would pronounce this town would be Asakusa. How I think it is pronounced is Asakasa. Just like basically quicken up the word and like don't emphasize any specific portion of it. Or like, see, because like, you know, I would pronounce it Asakusa. I think, yeah. But it's pronounced Asakasa. Which is, like I said, just don't emphasize any particular thing and say it a little faster. So that's where the matcha trip was, like in a hotel. It provided really great information on how to find him and where it was. So it was super easy. And it was just my parents and I there. And he has tea that you can buy. This is not the bag, I just put it in the bag. And like a whole like pamphlet. And so like there's them. So yeah, it's just, and like I'm not gonna show you this because this is all his information, so you have to do the matcha trip to find it out. But so like you have green tea and you make a bunch of different green teas, and then you make a couple of different matchas. You help make it, and then you make your own matcha. And he makes some matcha lattes. He also has a YouTube channel where he like shows you how to make things and like making things with the matcha, and explaining the tea. I'll link his YouTube down below because like go check it out. And his wife made these like little cookies that, oh my goodness, they were so delicious. Like, I am going to make some myself because they remind me of this one, like, cookie that I got the first time, and I had never been able to find them since. And I looked everywhere. I wasn't able to find anything similar to it here either. Or there either. So I'm going to find the video of how to make it because, oh my god, it's so good. Now my rambling of going on and on about this matcha and matcha trip. Also, we booked it through Viator. Go support him. That's all. I'm going to show you what we bought now. So we'll start with the green tea. So like, this is how it's packaged. It's so cute. And like, look at that sticker. So because I can't read this. I think on the inside it's a separate packaging, and it shows you, like, gives you brewing instructions and, in English. But, so this was my favorite tea, and it is, I think it's that one is what I got, because that was my favorite. It's so good. Oh, I want to save that sticker. Oh. So we got that, and then we got Matcha. So it's got like rice, brown rice in it. It's non-glutinous rice. Like in it, and this is also really good. This was my dad's favorite, so he picked that one out. And then we got 2 different types of matcha. They just have different tastes to them. And they're just so good. Just so good. He does sell all of this online as well, and ships to the US. And then we also got a matcha whisk, and I believe this is the like Japanese style matcha whisk. But yeah, so that is all of the tea we got from him. Because, you know, it was really good, and like he packages all these himself. He curates the tea himself. He was a tea farmer. Once I run out of that tea, I will probably purchase more from him, because it's just such good high quality tea. And apparently the like high quality tea leaves you can actually eat. So we ate the tea leaves for some of this tea with ponzu sauce on it. It was so good. Okay. I think I've rambled on enough about that. Just go check it out. It's amazing. So after that, because we were pretty close to the Senso-ji Temple, we took a walk over there. It was raining and crowded, and it just wasn't a fun time, but the Senso-ji Temple is always crowded. We went the first time. But I did find a good luck charm for my aunt that had a black cat on it, because she has a black cat. I'll put a picture here because she has it now. And on the other side it says love. It's super cute. So then after that, we took the train down to the Pokémon Center Tokyo DK. This is near Tokyo Station. Tokyo Station is also called, Marunouchi, I think. That's how you pronounce it. We wanted to go, well, I wanted to go to the big main, like, Pokemon store in Toshima City, but unfortunately it was closed because a couple days before we got there, an employee was stabbed. Yeah. So, it is closed for an undetermined amount of time. Which, like, Japan is a very, very safe country, but, like, stuff still happens. They also do have very strict gun laws there, so more than likely stabbings are going to happen than shootings like we do in the US. Back to Pokemon Center. So I love Eevee. So the first time we went, my parents went to that big main Tokyo Pokemon Center in Toshima City, and they got me a Eevee plush, which is up on one of my shelves over there. And so this time I got her. She's just so cute. Yeah. And like, apparently it's pocket monsters, and like this is like a string that come off, and it's so cute, and I love her. I just have to find a spot for her. I love Eevee. Eevee is my favorite Pokemon. Always has been, always will be. the the Eevee, not the evolutions. Yes, the evolutions are cute, but I like Eevee. And as you're gonna be able to tell, I got Eevee socks. Apparently there was a size to them. I had no clue until I was checking out, but I have small feet. They should be fine. They looked fine. They look fine. But they just... She's so cute! I love it. So then I also got these, which like hangs flat, and then you like can turn up the tail, and it can be a little key holder or any kind of holder. A little hook. I just want to point out that on the back it says point and then how to use, and then it's in Japanese. Like, why did you put it in English if everything else was going to be in Japanese? I'm not judging, but I'm pretty sure I can figure out how it works. That's also what Google Translate is for. So then lastly, let me take this out of the bag. Okay, but like, how cute is this little bag that they put the stickers that I got in? So my best friend is obsessed with ducks, and you know, so of course she loves Psyduck. And so I got her a Psyduck sticker because I think it's really cute. And then of course I had to get myself an Eevee sticker because, you know, it's really cute. So then after the Pokémon Center, we went to, I think, yeah, because it wasn't too far, we could walk to it. We went to Echizenya, which is one of the craft stores. We just got a little bit of everything. And so I got this kit, which is super cute. Like I said, if you want more in-depth about all the crafting stuff, go check out my last video. So after that, we did a little bit of shopping around Tokyo Station, just to kill some time because we had a dinner reservation. And so we had some time to kill, and so we ended up at the because there's a couple of different malls at Tokyo Station. There was a Lush, and you know, I gotta go to Lush. I love Lush. And so I got a couple of things that I will show you. Let me take it out of the box. Alright, so I got 2 bath bombs. I got My Melody. I really gotta put new tape on it. It didn't last. And then I got this really cute sparkly Shiba Inu bath bomb. So my original plan was to use those 2 bath bombs because the hotel had like a really great soaking tubs. All the hotels that I've stayed at have had soaking tubs, and they're just the best thing at the end of a long day walking. I also got a shower bar or a shampoo bar. They smell so good. I got my favorite massage bar. This is one of the like, it's lavender and it's got something else in it that's supposed to like help you like relax, help your muscles relax. It was a lifesaver when I was on tour the beginning of last year. And then I love Lush's bar soap, so I got another thing of bar soap. I don't remember the name of it, and it's all in Japanese, so I can't tell you. But yeah, so that is what I got from Lush. This bag has the strongest smell to it, so I can't wait to, like, find homes for that. Oh, like I was saying, I was originally planning on using those bath bombs at the hotel, but because I spent enough money, I got tax-free, and you can't open or use any of the products that you, that are consumables, while in the country if you want tax-free. Nobody actually checked or make sure that I actually didn't, so I probably could have, but I didn't. So now I have two really cute bath bombs to use here at home. Alright, so after that, we went to dinner at the front room. This is a very popular, very good restaurant. They've got really good food. It's a restaurant, it's got a cafe and a bar, so it's kind of got a little bit of everything. And the thing that they're most known for is French toast, and I will say it is very good French toast. Yeah. Let's see. I think I have time. So then, after that, that was the end of the day. Alright, so, next we've got April 5th. So we had breakfast at the hotel. We didn't have any, like, set plans for this day. It was just kind of what we decided to do on that day. So we decided to go to Ginza, to do some shopping. So Ginza is kind of the luxury shopping district. Anything and everything luxury shopping you can find in Ginza. From, like, their own, like, flagship stores to, like, stores within malls, like, you can find it all, and it's expensive. But because the yen is so weak right now compared to the US dollar, go shopping in Tokyo, because you're gonna save a crap ton of money, because the yen is so weak. It's like, if I'm remembering correctly, like, $1 is like 65 yen, I think. And so, like, if the yen and the US dollar were, like, equal to each other, 100 yen would be $1. But because the yen is so much weaker, $1 was, like, 65 yen. Or, like, something around there. But so, my mom loves Louis Vuitton, so we went to a Louis Vuitton store. We actually went to both of them because, in Ginza, Louis Vuitton has 2 flagship stores there. And they are a 10-minute walk from each other. It's crazy. But one of them has a cafe. We did not go to the cafe. But also in Ginza is Itoya, which is a stationery store that is about 12 floors. I went over it a little more in detail in my last video. But I got 2 friction pens. So they're just pens that you can erase. They're great. I'm so glad. And then we went over to, I think how you pronounce this store is Habri. I could be very wrong. They've got Sachiko and needlework. I didn't get anything from that specific store. And then we walked over to the, like, full body Godzilla statue, which was really cool. I hadn't seen that one before. Didn't know it actually existed, to be honest. There was also, like, a flower arch kind of thing, that was for, like, the Wicked premiere there, or, like, Wicked coming out there, something like that. I'll show a picture here. It was really cute. And then we stopped at 7-Eleven, and I got a cute little snack. I got my rice balls, which I love my rice balls. They're so good. You can't get them here. It's not the same. And so, 7-Eleven is not the same there as it is here. There, it's like you can get, like, real food that, like, is actually worth eating and is actually good for you and not, like, complete junk and crap. I love the 7-Elevens and the convenience stores there. They're so good. You can, like, get a full meal, like, a whole bunch of different drinks. They're just, you will hear that they're so much better. They are. Listen to everybody. They're so much better. I love it. So after sitting for a little bit, we went to Big Camera. So the Godzilla statue, 7-Eleven, and Big Camera were in Yurakucho, which is like next to Ginza, like below Tokyo Station, if that makes sense. And so we went to Big Camera, just walked around. My dad wanted to check it out. It's electronics galore. And then we headed to Shinjuku. Or I headed to Shinjuku by myself, where I went to Okadaya, which is a like 5-floor craft store, where I got these scissors and some sewing thread. It's got like 5 floors. It's fantastic. Anything and everything that you could possibly want crafting wise is in that store. And then I went to 2 other crafting stores that were in a mall attached next to Shinjuku Station. And then I had dinner at the hotel. And then we went over to Lawson's, which is another convenience store, to get some stuff for the next morning. So the 2 other crafting stores that I went to, I got a couple of things. I got this Sachiko kit. I got some needles to go along with it. This bag. I got another Sachiko kit. And Sachiko fabric, more of the traditional like fabric color, and thread for it. The next day was Disney Day. It was Tokyo Disney Sea Day. I made like a TikTok reel that like kind of goes through all of the pictures and a couple of videos that I took, and kind of like in depth of what we did that day. So go check that out if you feel like it. If not, oh well, whatever. But I love Disney. Disney is my absolute favorite. It is, I love Disney so much. And last time we went to Tokyo Disneyland, which is a really great park. But Disney Sea is like one of the most unique, like, parks in the world. It's very individual. The Disney parks in Tokyo are the only parks in the world not owned by Disney. Obviously it's licensed and like they have agreements with Disney, but they are not owned by Disney. Japan wanted a Disney World, Disneyland so badly that they paid for it themselves. So we took a car service to arrive at Disney, because if you've seen really long lines, we wanted to avoid that line. So we took a car from the hotel, and so we arrived at Disney at 6 a.m. The park opens at 9 a.m. My goal was to arrive before first train, which was around 6:30 a.m., and we were successful. We were very successful. We were so early in that line. And like it was a gorgeous day out. We stole the blankets from the plane and like sat on those. It was great. And I will show you kind of like the progression of the crowd. And so like I said, we arrived at 6. First train is at 6:30. The park does not open until 9 o'clock. And we got in, and like there's passes that if you don't get in that park early on, like you're not getting things. Lines get really long, really quick in the park. So I would not do this if I lived there, if I could go whenever I wanted to. I did it because this hopefully is not going to be the only time I get to go to Disney Sea, but it will not be a priority anymore to go to since I have been there. Yeah. And so, it gets really crowded. I also didn't want to be in the middle of that crowd. It get like, you get really tight, and I didn't want to, so we didn't. So around 8 o'clock, they had us start standing up because, a lot of people bring stuff to sit on. You're there for like 3 hours before the park opens. I brought, from Lawson's, I brought myself breakfast. So around 8 o'clock, they had to start standing up and condensing. And then shortly after, they had us go through security. And then around 8:45 is when they started letting people, like, scanning people into the park. And so once, so security is very similar to how Disney World now has it, where you, like, walk through just, like, these 2 bars, but you walk through one at a time. Kaya, stop. And then if they feel like they need to check your bag, they'll send you to go check your bag. They checked my bag because I also had scissors in the bag, which were not a problem because I had my crochet, because I brought crochet to keep myself busy in the morning, which was very good because it kept me busy on the lines. So I was on ticket and app duty, so I scanned everyone into the park with my phone. The app works very, very differently there than it does here. It is a very different app. I would highly suggest exploring it before. And so nothing really, you can't see any of, like, the pass options beforehand, but if you go online, you can see what is offered for those passes. But basically, so you have the tickets on your phone. My dad bought them on his account, and so all I had to do was scan the ticket, or scan at least one of the tickets from his phone onto my phone. And then from there, you can create a group. And then, because I had to do that because I didn't have any tickets on my phone. If I had a ticket on my phone, all we had to do was create a group, and then it shares all of everyone's tickets with everybody in that group. And then, so once you have created that group, now when you go to buy or pick the passes, you select who in that group you want on that pass. I believe it will automatically, I think it automatically selected everybody. If not, it was a really quick, easy, like, select and then go. Make sure you have an ESim or, like, some sort of sim. Don't go off of your, like, home service that, like, gives you roaming or anything like that. The service slows down tremendously because there's so many people, and the farther you get away from the entrance, the quicker your phone is going to get because, less crowded. But I had no problems. I had gotten an ESim for the trip. I'll explain that more at the end. And so, the different pass options at Tokyo Disney Sea. Well, and at Tokyo Disney Resort, the both parks. So you've got Premier Access, which is the paid option. Kind of like the Fast Pass, but you pay for it. You pay per ride. And it's for those rides that have the really long waits. There are very specific rides that it is for. And you can find that list on the website. Then you have the 40th Anniversary Priority Pass, which is very similar to the Premier Access, except for it's free. And that one, I don't believe you get to pick your return time. They give you whatever the next return time is. Premier Access, you do indeed get to pick your return time, as long as it's available. You've got the Standby Pass. That is used only when stores are really busy and they've reached capacity, so they need to limit the number of people in stores. So when I was there, there was no standby passes. And then you've got the entry request, which is for the shows and the characters, which is also free. Standby pass is also free. The only paid pass is the Premier Access. I would highly suggest going on the website, and you can see what is for all of them and get more up-to-date information about what is available for each pass. So by getting in the park super early, which was why we did this, we could get the Premier Access Pass for Frozen, because that one always sells out very quickly once people have started entering the park. So we got that one for around 11 o'clock. So then we booked it to Fantasy Springs and got in line for Rapunzel, which is also another one that tends to have a really long line in that area. What changed from how it used to be was starting April 1st is when Fantasy Springs was open to anybody to just walk into the area. Before that, you had to have a pass. I don't know which one, but you had to have one of the passes to even get into the area, just to look around, go to the store, all of that stuff. But starting April 1st, they changed it where anybody can just go. They can go wait in line. Those rides can reach up to 200 minutes, which is why we got Premier Access for Frozen, because that very quickly got up to 200 minutes. Rapunzel quickly got up to like a hour, like 2 hours very quickly. We only maybe waited like half an hour, 45 minutes, because we were so early in getting into the park and got back there really quickly. Then we spent most of the morning in Fantasy Springs, and we did all of the rides. There are 4 rides in that area. Like I said, Frozen, Rapunzel, then you've got Peter Pan. We rode Peter Pan single rider. The line was a lot quicker that way. And we didn't need to be with each other. And, like, I worked on Peter Pan Goes Wrong, and then Finding Neverland directly after that. So Peter Pan has a really special place in my heart, and I love Tinkerbell. These were the ears that I wore while we were there, and I'm gonna keep these on until I'm done with the Disney section now. I got these at Disneyland the last time I went. They're Tinkerbell, because I love Tinkerbell. She has such a special place in my heart. And I will say that is the best that is the best Peter Pan ride out of all of the 3 parks that I've been to that have Peter Pan rides. And then after that, we went on Tinkerbell's ride, which was so cute. And then we did a mobile order. I really suggest mobile ordering if you're going to do one of the, like, quick service places. It's just so much easier. Once you get there, you just, like, mark that you've arrived, and then once the food is ready, which maybe takes 5 minutes, it will tell you which window number to go to. So, like I said, we spent most of the morning in Fantasy Springs. I got this cool pin because I collect pins. There really isn't a ton of pins at Disney in Tokyo. But I found that one. That was like the only pin that I found, at least that I wanted. And then, mind you, all of the rides are in Japanese. So once you get onto the ride, it's all in Japanese. But, like, I didn't mind. It didn't bother me. If it bothers you, it bothers you, but it doesn't bother me at all. But while you're waiting in line, the, like, pre-recorded stuff is in, Japanese, English, and I think Mandarin. I could be wrong, but I think it's Mandarin, but it's in 3 different languages. A lot of stuff there is in 3 different languages. So then, like I said, we mobile ordered food for the New York Deli, which is, I think it's super cool being from New York, eating at the New York Deli while in Tokyo at Disney Sea. Just thought it was really cool. And then, also a suggestion, shop early. Either shop early or shop during the show. Otherwise, the stores are so crowded. Or shop during, like, peak lunch hour, which is, like, 11 to 1-ish. But otherwise, the stores are so crowded, it's ridiculous. Especially right after the show. The night show, like, in the center part. Which I wanted to watch, but it just didn't work out timing-wise. I could very easily spend another entire day at that park and not see everything and do everything. Not just because it's a decent sized park, but it's just there's so much to do that isn't just rides. Yeah. So the show ended around 8 o'clock. We left around 8 o'clock. The park closes at 9. I think there's fireworks later on. Like that's just a fireworks show, not like a show in the center in the water. The longest we waited was for Tower of Terror. We waited about 2 hours for that ride. The crowds really weren't that bad. It definitely got a little more crowded, but according to the like crowd predictor, the day was supposed to be quite empty, but it ended up being what they called extremely crowded, which I wouldn't call extremely crowded. I would say crowded. You could still move around. It didn't feel like you were like squished against people. It was like a good day to go because it was right before they kicked off all the 25th anniversary stuff and the food and wine festival started. But also it was the day before people, like the kids went back to school, so there was a lot of kids there, but like it was fine. There were longer lines, but it wasn't a big deal. And then so we took the train home. So there is a train on the Disney property, but it's not free like the ones are in the US parks. You use your IC card the same way that you would for the rest of the trains throughout the city. But that train only circles the park. Or like circles the property, so you can go to like the different hotels. They've got like the like shopping area and the different parks. And the trains are Disney themed. They're really cute. We had really good weather. It was pretty warm until it got really windy at night, but other than that, wasn't too bad at all. Let me show you what I got. So my mom is obsessed with the gachapon, or what they call capsule toys, because she wasn't able to do it last time, because you had to like, so sometimes depending on the season and the day, you might have to get the like standby pass to get the capsule toys or gachapon. We did not. So there's 2 locations within Disney Sea. One is in the Ariel area and one is near Tower of Terror. And so, let me show you. Oh, so like, these are so cute. And they can turn into like keychains of their own, which is super cool. And so, the first one I got was this food. And like, it's a hamburger with a little plate that it can go on. That's the shape of Mickey's hand. And I think this is like an actual food you can get in the park. Or in one of the parks. I don't know. And then the other one is this tomato snacks. Just like a can. I don't know. And then it's got like, it almost looks like a peanut. I don't know. I thought it was really cool, really funky. So there's those 2. If you're interested in these, definitely take a look when you get into the park. If you have to get a, like, pass to be able to even get them. And at least when I went, they are 500 yen, and the machines only take 100 yen coins. You can take, and there are like coin machines near them so that you can get coins. And then I also got this book for my friend, and it is in Japanese and English, so I'm really excited to give this to my friend for her baby. Alright, so I think that is all of Disney, so we will take off the ears. Alright, so next we have April 7th. We again ate breakfast at the hotel. You can tell the theme. We almost exclusively eat breakfast at the hotel. It's not any extra because it's in the lounge, so it was free and it was pretty good breakfast. Scrambled eggs every day. And then a whole bunch of other things you could choose from. Including miso soup and rice. Yes, for breakfast. That is traditional in Japan to have like miso soup and rice and tofu and fish and whatnot. So April 7th, we went to, I think it's pronounced Tsukiji. the Tuskegee Fish Market. So we did the Tuskegee Fish Market. So we did the Tuskegee Fish Market food walking tour. This was through Japan World Traveler. Again, we booked it through the Viator. They're small group tours because you're walking through the market. So it was just me and my family. It was really cool. I would assume that you could have up to like 5 people in a group because that just kind of seems the most manageable. But it was just us 3, which was really cool. And our tour guide was so nice. He was so cool. His name was Kazu. Yeah, this was the card from it. Pretty cool. But yeah, so you meet at the Tuskegee Tuskegee Hongwanji Temple, which is a Buddhist temple. And so you meet there and we started there. He kind of like showed us around the temple, looked around, taught us like how they traditionally will pray, and kind of taught us a little bit about the Buddhist religion there. It was really cool. So the Tuskegee area used to be like temple town. So there used to be temples and shrines all over the place. But earthquakes and fires kind of destroyed everything, and so the Hongwanji Temple was kind of built in a different style than most of the other shrines and temples in Tokyo, and I think Japan in general. And you can see that difference in just like the construction of it, which was really cool. And so the fish market wasn't always there. And so after, like, the shrines and temples were kind of destroyed because of, like, different natural disasters, the fish market moved there. And so, and it was there for years, and then, I don't remember how many years ago, but the main fish auction moved away. I don't remember where it moved to, but the rest of the market stayed. But the like, main market where, like, they do the fish auctions in the mornings, is in a completely different spot now. So you have the Tuskegee Jogoi Market. I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. And then the Old Tuskegee Market, where we walked around and we tried food. We had a Wagyu beef skewer. We had a Japanese omelet. We had fish cakes. Some really fresh, really good strawberries. Our guide chose some like mochi ice cream with a strawberry on top. That was so delicious. We walked through the Tuskegee Wagoshi, which is a small wholesale market. But you're not allowed to take pictures in there, so I don't have any pictures. Then we went to Namayochi Shrine, where I got a... Where is it? Where I got a good luck charm. I love getting these good luck charms from the different shrines. You're supposed to hang them from your bag, and it's supposed to bring you good luck. And so the shrine, the Hamanochi, the Tuskegee Namayoki shrine is they kind of worship the like sea dragons or the wind dragons, something. Basically, they just want them to, like, you know, be nice to the people out on the sea fishing. That's about it. Let's see. So it ended with like a fish cutting demonstration, and then you got to eat a fresh fish bowl, and the fish was so fresh. It was so good. And our guide was amazing. He showed us all of like these really cool places, including telling us all of these like what he gets there, like who lives there and, like, visits frequently, like, what he will go there and buy on a regular basis, and, like, the stores that he loves the most, which was really cool. So, let's see, we got a couple of things there. So, we got these, like, dashi packets. Dashi is, a soup and cooking stock. It's fish-based, and it's the base for miso soup. And so, we got these, they're like sackets that look like tea sackets, but it's not. It's to make the dashi, and for, like, different things. So it's super cool. So we got this, and there's instructions on the back of how to make. And then also we got, while we were walking around, we tried this, like, shredded dried squid. I didn't get these at the market. I got these at a, I think it's a Family Mart, a couple of days later. But apparently they're really good snack for when you're drinking. They're very salty. So I got these for a friend of mine to try, because I figured it's cool, it's different. There's that stuff. And so it started raining, kind of towards, like, the end of the tour. And so after we were done eating, it was raining when we were walking back getting the stuff, which is when we got that stuff. And then there's also a tea store that we went to. I think it's called Jugetsudo. Let's see. That. So I got two different things from this store. I got this green tea that's got, like, sakura cherry blossom in it. Stop. And it's really cute in a really cute tin. Okay, it's like sakura tea. Green tea. I opened that thing of the dashi, and now my dogs are growing bananas over it. And then I also got this variety pack of like different teas. It's got 18 tea bags in it, and you got a whole bunch of different teas because, you know, I love teas, and they're all in, like, sackets, so I thought that was really cool. And will be really useful. So like I said, it had started raining while we were going back buying some stuff. My dad also got some like nuts and stuff that he really liked. Those are with their stuff. And then, some things to know if you ever go to the Tsukiji market is don't eat and walk. And don't throw away trash from another, like, vendor's, like, booth. Throw away your garbage in the vendor's booth that you got it from. Don't throw it away somewhere else. Unless you're going to hold it and take it with you until you get, like, to your place or you find a public trash can, which you're not going to. There are none. So those are the two things. Eating and walking throughout Japan, they don't really, they say not to, but, like, they don't really care. The biggest issue is you're not going to have a place to throw away your garbage. And, like, businesses will look at you weird for throwing away garbage from another company or if you didn't buy it there. If you're okay with that, go ahead. Or just carry it. But if you do walk and eat, just know you're gonna carry it. But they they say do not eat and walk because there's so many people. It's so crowded. You don't want to drop your food. You don't want to get the floor dirty. It's just don't do it there. So after that, we went to the Harry Potter store in Akasaka. So it's a small store, but in the surrounding area, it's all got like Harry Potter stuff, which I was so excited about, and it was so cool, and I love Harry Potter. If we're not supporting J.K. Rowling, but I love Harry Potter. It was such a part of my childhood. So that was really cool to see all of that stuff. And then after that, we went over to Shinjuku, where the Godzilla head is. The Godzilla head is on the Toho building, or like the Toho Cinema building. And fun fact, it was part of the 2016 ad campaign for one of the new Godzilla films, and the head was revealed in April of 2015. And the hotel that it is on has some Godzilla statues that you can check out, and even a Godzilla themed room that you can stay in. My best friend's husband's dad is obsessed with Godzilla. So that's how I know all of this. So after that, we walked around a little bit. We went to one of the Don Quijotes there, which is like a giant tourist everything you could possibly find store. I didn't buy anything there. And then we went to Krispy Kreme, where I just had an original glazed donut, but they did have some cherry blossom donuts, but they also had chocolate, and I don't eat chocolate. But, so we did that. And then after we went to Krispy Kreme, we went to, a store called Alice on Wednesday. And the reason I had heard about this was because my brother had a bag from that store, but unfortunately the bag that the store that he had got it from had closed, but then they had a pop-up store in, Shinjuku. And this is the bag it came in. I think that's just like super cute. And let me show you the earrings that I got. Look at how cute those are. Sorry about my dogs. They've been trapped up here for a while. But then it also says drink me. They had so many cool earrings. But for some reason I like these the best. And I had a lot of earrings that like had like two different ones, which I like. I don't care if there's two different earrings. They go together. But yeah, and these were only 800 yen, so that's not bad at all. They're super cute. I can't wait to wear them. After Alice on Wednesday, we went to another stationery store that was recommended to me by a friend called Sakaido. Right? Sakaido. I'll show you what I got. I got this eraser, which I've seen before. It turns into Mount Fuji as you use it. And then I got this really cute cherry blossom eraser because it was super cute. And I wanted to. Because I have adult money. I can spend my money how I want. And then I also got this stamp book, which is it's specifically designed to like put stamps in. But like, yeah, you can find stamps all throughout Japan, really, I think, and collect them. So after that, we were kind of done for the day, and we went back to the hotel, relaxed. I sat in the lounge and crocheted for a bit. All right, next we have April 8th. Again, breakfast at the hotel. Again, this is another day that we had no specific plans for anything. So I went and walked around Yayogi Park, while I waited for some stores to open, because stores don't really open until like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning there. And they have cherry blossoms in that park, and they were so pretty. But you could really tell the difference, what a week makes from like when they first were in bloom the week prior and to then. You can see so much more leaves, and there were so many more like fallen off. You could really see the difference. So I'm really glad that we did the tour the week before and really were able to see like almost no leaves on the cherry blossom trees and just mainly the blossoms, which was really cool. So the Yayogi Park is in Harajuku, and so Harajuku is a really big shopping area. It's got a very like distinct vibe to it. So first I went to the Harry Potter store, and it's a lot bigger than the first one that I went to. This one's got 2 floors, and they've got butterbeer that you can get, which I indeed did get some butterbeer. And so when I got the butterbeer, I also got these cookies. And because I got the cookies and the butterbeer, I also got this button. Oh my god. I'm sorry, my dogs are getting a little obnoxious. And then I also got these pins. Because, like I said, I collect pins. And again, these pins were only 1,000 yen. That's so cheap. Like $8 for 2 pins. Okay. So after that, I went over to Wiggle Wiggle Zip. I had seen this store on online, and it's just like really cute. That's it. It's just a vibe. It's just really cute and a vibe. I didn't buy anything there. I had only planned to go there if there was like nothing else, if like it was like in the way. It was. And then so after that, I went to the Sailor Moon store. I love Sailor Moon. She is truly like one of my favorites. Again, grew up with her. So like here is that. And so what I got. So the last time I went to Japan, I also went to the Sailor Moon store and I got a folder. And so I got a folder again. And so this is a little different than the folders you're used to here in the States. The folder actually only opens on this side and this side. So it's closed shut down here and on this side. And so you just like slide things in. And I really liked it. So I got another one with Sailor Moon on it. And then, of course, it says Sailor Moon Store Tokyo on the back. And then I also got... Come on. I also got this cute good luck charm with Chibi Moon on it. Because I thought it was really cute. No other reason. I usually don't get good luck charms except for at the... shrines, but that was too cute to pass up. And then my parents got me this sorry for the sprinkling, this sweatshirt that has the logo on it in this like holographic silver, and it's just plain black on the front. Obviously I haven't opened it yet, but yeah, that felt really cute. I am really glad my parents got that for me. I'm really happy about that. But it has this logo on it. It says exactly that, and that's the back of it. And then they, with their purchase, because they spent enough money, got these like transparent cards, which are like super cool. Yeah. And they're not for sale. They're like free gifts, whatever. So yeah, that was some of my favorite things that I got on the trip. So then after the Sailor Moon store, we went to the Sanrio store, because again, Hello Kitty, childhood favorite, absolutely love Hello Kitty. We got this. Isn't she so cute with the cherry blossom? But she's not just a keychain. No, of course not. She can't be that simple. She's also a bag, so you can unzip it And I'm not going to pull the bag out. Oh, but the bag's even in plastic too to protect it. But like, the bag is attached to her head. So like, you undo it and she's like on the outside of the bag. It's super cute. See? Look at that. Oh, so cute. So that's what I got there. Oh, and with that purchase, also got this, which is super cute. Everything is cute, I know. So then after that, I went to my first yarn store, which was, Muyo, where I got this yarn. Again, I will go into I went into detail in my last video, but I got 2 cakes of this yarn. I think it's called Unicorn. That. Let's see. After that, we went to Daiso, which is the dollar store there, where I got these 2 plastic fans. So there are Daisos in the States, but I don't think they're as cheap. And yeah, it's literally just a 100 yen store. Got those 2. Those are gonna go live in my SM stuff so that I have, like a fan to like help fan people when they get really hot backstage. And then I got these because they looked cool. They're just little like fish cookies, crackers, something, that are strawberry flavored, I think. I don't really know. I have to Google translate what's on it. Oh no. The thought that just went through my head was, the reason I got 2 was because I wanted to share it with one of my friends, and she's allergic to red food coloring, like the red dye, and I was like, oh no, it's pink, she won't be able to have it. But that's a lie, because the red dye that is in everything in the States is illegal in Japan. So it can't be in, that's in it because it wouldn't be able to be sold there. And then so the last thing I got, was this laundry bag because it was cute and I have been wanting one, because when I travel, my bras always get like destroyed in the wash when I wash them like away, and this is really cute and it's Disney. Or if I want to wash any of the like stuff that I've made, I can, and like the zipper tucks in to the pocket there so like it can't get like snagged and pulled. So I'm excited to try that out. Alright, so then after that, my mom was dying for some Starbucks, and she was being a trooper and being good, so we went to Starbucks, and that is when I got my Starbucks cup that I had wanted. And I kept looking to see if there was any other ones that I wanted, but I decided this is the one that I wanted, and it's the like Go Places series, but it's like cherry blossom themed, and I just love it. I think it is so stinking cute. I can't. And it's got like everything like Japan on it. Put that back in the box. And like that's the style of mug that I wanted. I have one now that's in that same style, but like I use it a lot. So I wanted another one, and also that one's starting to get a little worn. So let's see. After that, this was the like shopping day. I did like all of the shopping. Next we went to Walnut, which is another yarn store that's got hand-dyed yarn. I got this skein of yarn as well as this pin. And then, so, oh, I skipped a couple things. But I didn't buy anything at those things. So after Starbucks, I went to the Uniqlo that's in that area. Didn't buy anything. Didn't see anything that I like really loved. I'm really bad at like shopping for clothes. And then went over to Kittyland. There's Kittylands literally everywhere. They're basically like, they've got all of the stuff that you could possibly want for all of the different things. Like there's a Snoopy area, there's a Disney area, there's a Hello Kitty area, there's a Pokemon area, like all of those like things they've got stuff for in different areas of the store. Then I went to Walnut because Walnut is kind of between Harajuku and Shibuya. It's like kind of on the way. And then so went to Walnut and then continue, and Walnut, you got it. And then went to Shibuya. In Shibuya, went to the Disney store. That's got this front to it. It's super cute. I love it. But also, like, look at this bag. Look how cute that is. Yeah. So I saw this online, and I knew that I wanted it. But not for me. For my best friend, who's obsessed with ducks. This is for her. I really hope she's not watching this video. I don't think she watches my videos. But yeah, if I didn't love her so much, I would keep this for myself. But I love her too much. And yeah, I can't. I'm in love with it so much. It's so cute. And I'm so sad that I'm giving it to her. But I know I should because I bought it for her. I would not keep it for myself. So what I got for myself was these cute little like blind boxes. That you could get those different characters. Yeah, I haven't opened them yet. I'll open them eventually. Oh, something that got left in that bag. One of the stores in Disney Sea gave us these. They're so cute. So after that, went to Muji. Muji there is different than it is here. Slightly, not very, very much. But I didn't find anything there. Like I said, I'm really hard to shop for. And then went to Amimano Spin. Got this bag. Oop. Got this yarn. Really excited about that. Alright. After that, went to the big boy. This is when we did some real damage. We went to Mega Don Quijote. Mega. I didn't do as bad as I've seen other people do. But I got some stuff. So, I'm gonna be smart about this while I'm organizing stuff. Mega Don Quijote is many, many floors. I think it's like 7. And I went through all of them. And I went through all of them pretty in depth. So, here's what I bought there. We're gonna start with the makeup-y things that I got. And that would be this line of apparently very waterproof mascara and eyeliner. I'll show you one at a time. So this is the like pencil eyeliner. This is the like liquid eyeliner. This is the mascara. And this is the mascara remover. Because apparently this mascara is so waterproof that you need a whole remover for it. I am so excited to try that. I have such watery eyes and mascara runs on me all the time. The only mascara that I've had that like doesn't run, well, it flakes, it doesn't run, is the Tarte like tubing mascara. But other than that, everything always like smudges and runs on me. But I'm excited to try that. I also got this Fino hair mask, which again I have seen all over the internet. I'm excited to try that. Then, you know, I couldn't pass up the Biore sunscreen because it's supposedly SPF 50. I think this one says it smells like apples. I liked it because it had some pink to it. Pink/red. Yeah, it's supposed to be nice. I don't know. Try it out. It's almost summer here. Oh, and then I also got this hair and body mist that's supposed to smell like cherry blossoms. The one that I had wanted was sold out, and I didn't want to buy the big bottle. This one you couldn't smell, but I just hope it smells good. I love the smell of cherry blossoms, and the other ones smell good, so we'll try it out. Alright, I think that's all of the makeup related stuff. We'll move on to food. And so, these are mochi, in 3 different flavors. I think one is cherry blossom, one is mochi, and I don't remember what the blue one is. Can translate that if you want, but this is so that for me to try with some friends. So that one's definitely the cherry blossom one. I love mochi. I think it is delicious. I also love red bean. Most people don't like red bean, but I really do. I don't eat chocolate, but I got some Sakura Kit Kats and some matcha Kit Kats for people to try. Because, you know, if you didn't know, there are a bajillion and 2 different flavors of Kit Kats in Tokyo. And then I love Pocky, and I love strawberry Pocky, so I got this big thing of it. I kind of wish I had gotten the grape as well, because I love grape, but oh well, next time. Then, let's see, I also got this Kura matcha. So it's basically like water, and then in this, so it's basically like water, and then in this cap, once you like pop it open, it like drops something in, and then it will like dissolve. You can kind of see, and turns the water into matcha. So I'm excited to try that. Probably go put that in the fridge when I'm done with this. Oh, I also got this like pear acne cream. Again, saw it online. Said, nah, I'll try it. Also got this lip cream that's Eevee. I literally got it only because it's Eevee, and I love Eevee. Sue me. And then they had one of these, so I'm going to give it to my friend who works in a school, and I figured her kids would love that. I got this pin because I couldn't not get a pin, and it had cherry blossoms on it. And then I got these earrings that were cherry blossoms. Again, I have an obsession, but they're really cute. And they're dangly. I only wear dangly earrings. And then in the checkout line, they had these good luck charms. And that were super cheap. And so, you know, I figured I'll get a couple to give to some people. And then I'm probably going to keep one to put on my bag. Because you're supposed to put them on your bags, and it's supposed to give you good luck. So I figured, why not? Bag. And so, we're almost there. The last thing I got at Mega Don Quijote was this t-shirt. It just says Japan, and it's got cherry blossoms on it. I thought it was cute. So, alright. That's my Mega Don Quijote haul. All the things I bought at Mega Don Quijote. You want to know more about any of it? Leave a comment. Or if you want to know how the mascara works out, let me know. I'll let you know once I try it. So after that, I walked over to Shibuya Crossing or Shibuya Scramble, whatever you want to call it. It's where they've got like literally the bajillion people passing all at once. I've been there before. So it wasn't that big of a deal. I took a couple videos I thought was really cool. I'll put one of them here. At the Shibuya station is where you have the statue of Hachiko. So I learned about Hachiko when I was in school, and I think there's a movie as well. So the story, the dog is a Shiba Inu, and the dog is so loyal that the dog meets its owner at its home station every day after it gets out from work, walks him to and from the station. It's super cute. And then the dog just sat there and waited for his owner after his owner had passed, because unfortunately his owner had passed while he was in Tokyo. And I believe there's another statue on the other side, with like his home station. But so there's a statue of the dog there, and it's super cute. So yeah, and then I went back to the hotel, dropped my stuff off. Then my dad and I went to go have dinner at a restaurant recommended by the hotel, because we wanted to go to a sushi restaurant. And it is the Tsukiji Tsukiji Suzutomi in Ginza 6, in the Ginza 6 building. It's on the 13th floor. You have to take the elevator up, and yes, Tsukiji, like the fish market, I'm sure that's where they get their fish from. We sat at like the sushi bar, so they cut the fish right in front of you. We did the thing, it's like an option where like the sushi chef will choose the fish and the stuff for you. It was so delicious. It was so good. Like truly some of the best sushi I've ever had. Like, it makes sushi here taste bad, but it's also ridiculously fresh, cut by a sushi master, in front of you. And I also tried sea urchin, so that was really cool. I don't mind the flavor. The texture is different, but I don't mind it. Yeah. So that was the end of that day. So April 9th, our last full day in Tokyo. This was a day trip planned by my brother. We had breakfast at the hotel. I say planned. It's my brother. So he planned to take us to Kamakura, where we walked around, checked out the shops and stuff. We went and looked at the shrine there. Let's see. The Tsurogaka Hachimango Shrine. I butchered that, I know. It's on a really big grounds. They've got a couple different shrines on the property, but when you're up on top of the shrine, you can look down a road that leads right to the sea. It's really cool. It's also really pretty. And down that road that leads to the sea, like literally you can walk down that road straight from the temple to the sea. It's lined in cherry blossoms down the center, and it's really cute. We got matcha at Kamakura Chacha, which they mainly have like matcha ice cream, but I got a matcha latte because that's what I wanted. And then on our way back, we stopped in Yokohama, and we checked out the red brick warehouse. We went to the Pokémon Center Yokohama, which is on the 9th floor of one of the malls that are over there. I didn't get anything there. And then when we got back, I stopped at the Muji that was near the hotel. Dish bag. I got a couple of things. I can never find the regular toner at the Muji in New York City, so I wanted to try it. I don't want to try the light toner. I want the full toner. And then I got the Sakura and Sakura leaf cookies. They looked really good. And then I got the instant Sakura latte. I have their green tea and their roasted green tea latte, like instant mixes, and they're really good. So I wanted to try it out. And then for dinner, we went to yakiniku. I think it's literally just called yakiniku Takanawa. It's the Japanese barbecue where you cook the meat in front of you. And like what I think is really cool that I haven't seen, at least doing Korean barbecue here, is you season the like where you cook the meat with a like little piece of like fat, just like pure fat. And you season the grill and it makes things not stick. It was really cool. And the meats are really, really thin and like they're seasoned based off of the meat to what is going to taste best. All right. And so that was our last like full day in Japan. The next day was April 10th, and that was the day we were leaving. Again, we had breakfast in the hotel. We took a car to the airport. Security was really easy. It's very similar to the US. Yes, you had to take your laptop out. I had to take my shoes off because I was wearing boots. Yeah, and then we did some duty-free shopping because why not? My parents got some snacks. Honestly, the duty-free shopping in the airport there is really good if you want snacks and like alcohol. And like last minute souvenirs. And so I needed to spend a little bit less of my yen. And so I got this matcha bowl to make matcha in. And like I have one from my last trip, but I think it's smaller, and I had a whisk from my last trip, but I think it's in my storage unit. It's not here. And then I also got this cup, this teacup, which I think is really cute. So yeah, and then I had a little bit left, so I got some drinks from one of the vending machines. One of them I drank already, which was milk tea. That was to die for. It was delicious. I wish I could find it in the States. And then I got the like normal, like unsweetened version of the Sakura one that I got, where you can really see it's like plain water, and then you like pop the top and it turns the water into matcha. Again, I think I'm going to put this in the fridge and drink it soon. So yeah, so the flight was really delayed. I think the flight was supposed to leave around like 5:30, but we actually left around 7. But we actually arrived right on time. So we made up a lot of the time in the air. You take the exact same path back. So it was about an 11-hour flight. And we landed before we took off because of the time change. I think that's one of the funnest things to say. It's like we took off at 5:30 and we landed at like 5:15. I think it's so funny. Or no, sorry. We took off at like 7 and we landed at like 6. Or no, like 5:30. Something like that, because it was an 11-hour, a little over 11-hour flight. but oh my goodness. The jet lag is kicking my ass. This direction is so much harder. I'm still not fully adjusted to like the time zone now. The first time I visited, I started my final semester of college literally 2 days after getting back, and I don't think I slept for a month. It was bad. So, last but not least, I've got some general tips and tricks that I've learned over the 2 trips. Again, I am not an expert at Japan, at Tokyo. I don't speak the language. This is just from what I have learned from being there twice. Just my opinions, my thoughts. Like I said, I don't speak any Japanese. The first time I really didn't speak any Japanese. And that's okay. You can get around. It's fine. We have Google Translate. Google Translate is your friend. But this time before I went, I spent about like a month and a half doing Duolingo beforehand. So I learned some like basic words, little things. I would highly suggest learning like basic things so that you don't have to speak it, but so when you hear it, you can understand it. And that's a lot of how they know English as well, is they know it hearing it and reading it, but they don't know it speaking it, which I understand, because like it's uncomfortable speaking a language that you don't know to people who that is their first language. Alright, as you can tell, I am in a different outfit because it is a different day. I had to do something, so let's see, where did I leave off? Oh yes, I was talking about ESim. So the last trip I went on, I got a normal SIM card, where you like literally replace the SIM card in your phone. This time I got an eSIM because technology has come a long way and phones can now do that. I highly recommend getting an eSIM. Don't use the like roaming or the service stuff that your carrier can provide. I recommend getting a SIM because you're going to be higher on the priority list than anyone who like has the like roaming or however they do it. And especially for like Disney, because there's so many people there using the service all at the same time, especially getting into the park first, it's going to slow down. And I used UBG, which it was so good. I got much more gigs than I thought I would need. I wasn't really sure how much I would need this trip. I think I only ended up using like 12 or 13 and I gotten like 25. But I also got a like 10% off because I used somebody's like discount code because I was watching videos and he was the one that I had decided to use the code. But I think I have the like, once you use it once, you can like refer a friend and like they get 20% off or something like that. So if you want to use an eSIM, I can give you that. I probably won't use my eSIM and get the benefit from it, but you can get extra percent off. Let me know. But yeah, because I got the 25 gigs for like, it's good for 30 days and I only needed it for 10 days, but it was the best deal and I wasn't sure. It didn't slow down. It was the best decision and it was cheaper than the like carrier plan because I have Verizon. So it was cheaper than the like world carrier plan, whatever, from Verizon that they have. And yeah, I did a lot of research beforehand to figure out which eSIM to use, and by far I'm very glad that that's the one that I went with. It didn't slow down. I don't think you need unlimited. Also, unlimited will absolutely slow down at some point. But with the normal gigs, it won't slow down, I think, until you've used more. And it's just really easy. You can top up if you need to. It highly recommend. Okay. So next, I'm going to show you the bag that I brought, my purse that I brought with me, that I had with me the entire time, what I had in it, because, okay, so first, here's the purse. It's Sally, it's a Loungefly. I've had this for a while. I didn't get it just for it. The strap's adjustable, so I could have it full crossbody, I could have it not. It was great. It's a decent size too, so it holds a lot, but it's not heavy. So this is kind of how it looked. So what I have in here. So one thing you should know is technically, wherever you are in Japan, you should always have your passport on you. In general, I think that's a good rule of thumb when you're traveling abroad to always have your passport on you. It's just, it's a good thing to always have. You never know when you're going to need it, especially if you're doing any tax-free shopping. You will always, always, always need your passport. Here's mine. And I think technically you can get in trouble if you get caught without it, but like nobody's actually going to check. But I highly suggest having your passport with you. So this purse has like a little front pocket thing. So my passport lived in there. It was the most protected. Things weren't going to like bump into it or like damage it, whatnot. I had my room key in that same pocket. So it was easily accessible. And then I had my Suica card. So as you can tell, it has my name on it. Yes, I'm covering up my last name. So, okay, but also like, how cute's the little penguin? So this is my card. I always had this easily accessible, so that I could, reach it every time. Whenever you're going in and out of the trains, you tap on the way in and on the way out. Don't be that person to like hold up the line. Move out of the way if your card isn't exactly on you. But so that was always in that pocket. And then in the pocket next to that, I had my little wristlet, which in here has my driver's license. It has my credit card. Make sure if you're doing any shopping via card that your card does not have international fees. I got because all of my cards had international fees, including my checking account. And so I got the Capital One Venture One card. I'll show you the front because and this has no international fees, so that is great. And then I had a couple cards for backup in here. And then all of the American cash I brought with me was $20. Didn't need it. I got a little less than $300 worth of yen out. Some banks you can like withdraw money like in foreign currency before you leave. So that's what I did. That's what I've done the last couple of times my parents have gone. I just take it out of my bank and then you can use the cash. The Chase Bank doesn't have any additional fees as long as you have an account. I don't know how other banks do it, but so it's always been the best option. I have also heard that 7-Elevens in Tokyo or in Japan in general, they all have ATMs. I don't know what the ATM fees are like, but just check that out if you don't want to take yen out beforehand. But I also, the first time I went 7 years ago, it was cash everywhere. You could barely use your card anywhere. This time, you could use your card everywhere. I think the only places you couldn't use a card was obviously if you go to any of the shrines and temples and get any of the good luck charms. That's all cash. And I think some of the ticketing booths for the cards also only take cash, but I think that's changing. I think a lot of them take card now. Yeah, you really could survive with like maybe $50 worth of yen, just in case. 100 if there's more than one of you. But yeah, you really don't need cash on you all that much. Yeah. Even the vending machines, like, you can use your IC card on the vending machines. It's fantastic. The two essential things that were in my bag every single time I left the hotel, no matter what, were always in my bag, were a collapsible bag and a little, like, washcloth hand towel. This I crocheted. It's just cotton yarn, double crochet, square, very simple. Use some leftover cotton yarn. Dries super quickly, not a problem being in my bag, even if slightly damp. Because the reason you need a cloth of some sort in your bag is a lot of, like, bathrooms do not have something to dry your hands off with. Even, like, in, like, some of the malls, there is nothing to dry your hands off with. I never once saw a place that had towels or the paper towels to dry your hands off with. Sometimes you would see the, like, the air dryer ones that you, like, stick your hands into. This was a lifesaver. And of course I was the only one who had one, so everyone was drying their hands with this. Probably needs to be washed. But you can also, there's, like, washcloths that you sell everywhere with every possible character on it or design. So if you don't want to bring one with you, buy one when you get there. This is one of the most essential things, I think, if you are going to be out and about, to have with you. Also, if you're there during the summer months, I have never been there during the summer months, so this is just based off of what I have been told and what the research has said. It is very, very humid. Very, very, very humid. Like, puts Florida to shame humid. And very hot. So you can use your cloth to wipe your sweat off with. Which is what my brother said. A lot of people, that's why they have it, is to wipe the sweat off with. Gross! But when you're on a train full of people, you really don't want to be touching sweaty people. And, like, when people wipe off their sweat, it's nice. I have not experienced this, but that's just from what I've been told. And then a collapsible bag. All of the bags that you saw, I paid for. Except for, like, the small, like, the small, like, paper ones. This was great. I could put multiple bags in it. I've had this for years. You can also buy collapsible bags there. There's a lot of really cute ones, but, like, this folds out. And, like, it's a good size. Like, I fit a lot of stuff in this bag. And it's super lightweight, and when it was raining, it's nice and waterproof. Those are the two absolute essentials. Had to have in my bag every day. Used every day. Even if I got, like, a bag from a place, I would still put it in this bag, because this bag would fit over my shoulder without a problem. And if I got multiple bags, the bags just went in the bag. So it felt like I was carrying less. I have a couple other things in here. This is one of my favorite things. It's Glossier, which I know is it's universal salve, which it is. I've used it on my knuckles. It's a great lip balm. Yeah, just, I have really dry lips, and this is really great, and you don't have to worry about it, like, melting or freezing or anything. So I just had one of those in there. You're going to be doing a lot of walking, so some sort of painkiller if you have aches and pains. Just something small that, like, if you feel like it, you can take it real quick. A pen and a pencil. I never really needed it, but I always have a pen and pencil on me. That's just me. And then, this is also one of the best things I decided to get before my trip. It is a power bank, and it has a built-in USB-C cable. This is the largest power bank you can get that you can still fly with. Obviously, you cannot check it in. It has to go in your carry-on. And I believe they're changing regulations that each person is only allowed to have one on their person when they're flying. Which makes sense. But even tells you, like, how much is left. I use this, I think in the airport. I also don't think you're allowed to use it to charge your phone on the planes. But either way, I can get like 4 charges out of my phone out of this. Because I have the Galaxy Z Fold 4, which is what I'm currently recording this video on. And it's a little bit of an older phone, and it goes through battery like water. I swear, it's just like dying on me constantly. So like the fact that I could recharge my phone like 4 times, I only really needed to recharge it like twice throughout the day if I was really, really using it. Like at Disney, I recharged it twice. And I never ran out of battery with this. It's from Anchor. Let's see. It is the 20K 87 watt built-in USB-C cable. I got it on Amazon. Oh, it even has the, like, I don't know if you can see that, safe to fly, like, check mark. But this is, it's a heavy, it's big. It's bigger than my phone, and I have, my phone is one of those folding phones, and it was before they decided to make them thinner. So this is bigger than my phone. But I barely noticed the weight in my bag for it, and I was very, very, very grateful to have it. So that is everything that I had in my bag everywhere I went. One other thing that I would suggest having in your bag that I didn't, that I wish I did sometimes, was, I think I said it earlier, is some sort of like bag you can carry garbage around in, because you won't find garbage cans. They like don't exist. You might find like the bottle garbage cans near some of the vending machines, but other than that, you're not finding a garbage can. There is no public garbage cans. They don't exist. Don't throw your garbage in another business's like garbage that you didn't buy the stuff from. They will probably get mad at you. Then again, if you're also a foreigner, they probably will be like, oh, just a foreigner. But yeah, so that's why a lot of people, I think, don't walk and eat. Also because they don't want to risk, like, dropping food and, like, leaving garbage places. So, yeah, I didn't have it, so it wasn't terrible, but I did find I was carrying around a Starbucks cup sometimes for a little bit until I found something, or got back to the hotel. Those are the essentials, that, like, have to have in your purse, my purse, or a bag that you're carrying, no matter what. It's definitely, like, the best thing. And, okay, so the other thing that, like, saved me was having a soaking tub in the hotel room. All of the hotels I have stayed at in Japan between this trip and the last trip, and the last time we stayed at 3 different hotels, because we went to Kyoto. And in Kyoto, we stayed in more of a traditional, like, Japanese, like, hotel. I think they're called ryokans, where they've got, like, the mat that you sleep on the floor. It was a great experience. Definitely recommend, if you want something unique like that. Which apparently most older people in Japan sleep in normal beds. Most younger people will sleep on, like, the mats and stuff. Supposedly. But having a soaking tub was the nicest thing. It was so great after like walking almost 20,000 steps in a day to just go and be able to like soak and like relax my muscles. It definitely made being able to walk day in and day out so much better. And I loved that like you could take a shower while you were filling the bath, and then once you're nice and clean, go in the bathtub. Separate, and it's separate from the shower, but it's in the same room. I'll put a picture up here of the bathroom. It's by far my favorite bathroom. But let me show you a couple of things that I took from the hotel. It was the JW Marriott, so like you get more things and nicer things than some of the other hotels. But they always had these like bath salts. I have no clue what they actually are because I never translated that. But, they just look like normal bath salts. And it was nice. Just nice to put in the water. Didn't notice any particular smell. So, took one home. They always had this like pillow mist when they would turn down the beds at night. I think it's lavender. That you could spray on your pillows. That was also really nice. There was some tea in the room. So let's see. This is Japanese breakfast tea. This is roasted green tea, which is one of my favorite types of green tea. And then just green tea. So took those because why not? I love tea. And then something that they left in the room was like, look how cute this box is, first of all. Were these like, does it say on here? Oh, I don't know. They're like these like sweets that are cherry blossoms. If you want to translate that. I don't remember exactly what they are. There was a note with them that was in English that I didn't take, but I took a picture of. I'll put what they are on the screen somewhere. But so that's what I took from the hotel. And yeah, just like a nice hot soaking tub and a bath. Wonders for the aches and pains of your feet and your knees and your hips and your back, and yeah. One other thing was one of my friend that I went to go see Frozen with. She got us some sakura mochi that was wrapped in like salt-soaked leaves that were edible. And oh my goodness, they were delicious and to die for. I'll put a picture of them here. Yeah, they were just really great, and it was so sweet of her to get them for us. Apparently they're from like a shop that like runs out of them super quickly because they're like a high commodity and you can only get them during cherry blossom season. So I am not a big makeup person. I don't wear makeup on the daily. I'm not wearing any now. I was in the first half of the video. But sometimes, you just want to wear a little bit of makeup, and especially because I knew I'd be taking a lot of pictures while I was there. These are ColourPop shadow sticks. These are the only two colors that I have. And it is, what is it? Cocktail Party Matte and Honey BB Metallic. I literally used these two shades every single day to do my makeup. It took like 5 minutes to do this, mascara, maybe eyeliner, and that's it. And I felt nice and put together and ready for the day. Yeah, I was never allowed to wear makeup growing up. And then I do musical theater. I was a performer for a while, and so I did makeup for shows, and then I just like didn't have time when I became a stage manager to wake up earlier to like put on any makeup, so I just stopped. But like this allows me to take an extra 2 minutes to do something and makes me feel pretty. So if you want something it's super easy to travel with, and literally I can just blend it out with my fingers. It's great. Okay. Let's go on to the trains / like the subways. So there are 3 different metro lines in Tokyo run by 3 different companies. You've got JR, Tokyo Metro, and Tao? I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it. But like, these are what they are, and these are the symbols for them. They all have different symbols. You'll see the symbols on the like in the different stations. Some stations will have multiple lines. From where I was at Takanawa Gateway, the Yamanote line was the one that was my primary line, and that is one of the biggest lines on the JR line, and that is basically the circle line that goes to all of the major city centers in Tokyo. It literally circles Tokyo, one giant circle. And it was great. You could get literally anywhere you wanted to from that line. But so how you like I showed you, let me get it back out. The IC card is what you use to tap in and out. You can get like individual like rides, but like if you're gonna be taking the subway every day, which you are, you're gonna take a train every day if you're getting around Tokyo at all. A card is definitely the way to go. You can get like the tourism cards, which are good for I think 28 days, something like that. There's no deposit, but any money left on it you cannot get back. So you got to use all of the money on it. There are 2 like big companies that I know of. You've got Suica with the penguin, which apparently the penguin's going away soon and they're going to have a new mascot, which is sad. Suica is the JR lines kind of thing, and then you also have Passmo, which is like the non-JR. Doesn't matter which one you have. An IC card is an IC card. You can use it anywhere IC cards are accepted. And there are others, and these cards work in most of the major cities throughout Japan. So in like Kyoto and Osaka, and some of the other ones. So they work everywhere. There are some shops and restaurants and tourism spots that also accept the IC cards as a form of payment. And almost all of the vending machines, I believe, also accept them as well. So and also when you're at the airport, if you got like one of the tourism ones, like I know Suica is like the welcome Suica and it's got cherry blossoms on it. I know Passmo has one. I just don't remember what it's called. But any money left on it, you can use them at the airport. So you can use up the rest of the money that whatever you put on that card. Yeah. So also the JR lines are typically more crowded. And they're typically the trains that are above ground. And the Tokyo Metro are typically a little less crowded, and they are below ground typically. And so kind of like New York City, if you know New York City, you can transfer between the lines as long as it's in the same company, without having to like tap out of the station. If it's, say you're transferring at like Tokyo Station from like JR to Tokyo Metro, you will have to tap out and tap back in, which gets more expensive. But like if you're transferring from a JR line to a JR line, you just stay within the station and you just transfer cars. Like I said, you tap in when you go into the station and you tap out when you leave the station, so it tracks like how far you went, and that's how much you're charged. Google Maps, literally my favorite thing. If you put in like to and from, it will give you how much that trip will cost on whatever line you are using, including the transfers and all of that. Google Maps is literally your absolute best friend. Don't talk on the trains. Just don't do it. Unless there are other people talking or it's late at night and like you're out having fun, whatever. If you see people, especially in the mornings or the afternoons when people are going to and from work, just don't talk on the trains. Do what the locals are doing. Always the best thing I always think is just do what the locals are doing around you. Try to fit in, especially in the morning on the train. If you're going somewhere, yes, if you have to talk, obviously talk, don't not talk. But don't just like have a conversation just to have a conversation on the train, especially in the morning when people are going to work. A lot of people there have like hour-plus long commutes because they live outside the city because it's cheaper and they work in the city. Just like be respectful and don't talk in the train unless it's other people are talking. Then it's fine. Also, put your backpack in front of you if it's crowded. Takes up less space. You're not going to whack people with your backpack. Everyone does it. Easier. Don't judge the locals based on the tourists. I know, you're like, how can I tell? You can tell. I promise you, if you are paying close enough attention, you can tell who's a tourist and who's a local. So don't judge Japan by the tourists. All of the locals are very nice, very considerate. Yes, if you are on a train during rush hour, you're going to get pushed. It's not because they're being rude, it's because they want to get as many people on as possible so that people can get where they need to go. It's a respect thing. It's not a, like, gross thing like New York City is. If you're getting pushed on the train. General, like, traveling, like, just be observant. Be observant. Like I said, do what the locals are doing. Everything there, you typically walk on the left. Escalators, you stand on the left and you walk up or down on the right. Definitely do this, especially in the train stations. Stand on the left, except for Kyoto and Osaka. That's on the right. But the rest of Japan, stand on the left if you're not going to walk up. If you're going to walk up or down, then you use the right. Also, mostly when you're walking, because they drive on the left side of the road there. Generally, if you're walking, walk on the left side, but, you know, sometimes it's not going to work. If you got to get around, you got to get around. That is what it is. Like I said, Google Maps is your absolute best friend. I did write, don't be a dick. Just, yeah, be kind and considerate. Oh, I hate umbrellas. That's because I'm short, which, you know, I am not considered super short there. But I don't use an umbrella when it's raining. Everyone there uses an umbrella when it's raining. And, like, it's not a problem. Everyone just does it, but I don't because I always feel like I'm going to poke somebody in the eye. You can get umbrellas there. It's fine. I looked up because I had mentioned earlier that, like, if you think of Tokyo as, like, New York State, where you've got the, like, metropolitan area that everyone just kind of assumes is New York, and then you've got the rest of the state, I was indeed correct. Because after I filmed that, I looked it up and I went, am I correct or am I making shit up? I was correct. So Tokyo is one of 47 prefectures in Japan. And a prefecture is kind of like a state. And Tokyo is in the Kanto region. So kind of like you've got like the Northeast and the Southwest and the Midwest and all of that stuff. And Tokyo is the capital city. Yeah, so I was correct. One last thing, because I put this in the fridge, so I figured it would be cool for me to open it here as the last thing. I do before saying goodbye. So one last thing before I open this. If I travel a lot for work, and I've always just kind of traveled a lot in general growing up. So I've learned a lot about traveling. I'm not a professional traveler. I just do a lot of it. So if you care about any of my, like, how I get around, how I travel, what are my go-tos, what I use, let me know. I'd be happy to film something for you. But so let's open this. And I got this at the vending machine in the airport, but you can find them other places as well. And apparently it drops down and turns water into matcha. Let's see. Close it, and then you shake. That's so cool! I don't know why I'm fascinated by that, but I also love matcha. And I had matcha the other day here, and I was like, I miss Tokyo matcha. Okay, let's try it. Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, that's the matcha that I like. Oh, that's really good. Alright, well, thank you so much. If you watched this entire thing, I know it was a very, very long one. If you watched this entire thing, thank you so, so much. I really appreciate it. I filmed this video half just to share my experience and half because it's a good thing that for me to be able to look back on later. And this is just my experience from visiting Tokyo for the second time. And I, again, really appreciate you watching this video. I hope you have an absolute wonderful day, hopefully enjoying the weather, and hopefully I will see you in future videos.